Long time, long time no see. My YouTube people. It's so weird to be back on here as opposed to Facebook. So I've been in school and I've only been able to do one video a day. So I've been doing Facebook, and sometimes I didn't even do one video a day, especially during my finals. So if you're new to me, hi, my name is Rhonda. I am a full time college student and a part time artist. I have a Facebook page called The Secret Creations. I have an Instagram where you can see my art, which is Rhonda Mills 67. I have a TikTok where you can see reels, which I'm about to crank that up and start doing a bunch more of those. That is Rhonda Mills 2101. And also on Facebook, I have a page called The Real Rhonda, where I share some things that I don't share on The Secret Creations, or like on The Real Rhonda, I can do reels, but on The Secret Creations, I can't. So like sometimes on The Real Rhonda, you get like a little more stuff than you do on The Secret Creations. And then I also share on The Real Rhonda, like, fun videos for the day, or like if it's Saturday morning, start you out with something cool or something like that. So there's little bonuses for The Real Rhonda. Today I gave my speech, and that was the last thing I needed to do for school. As far as like this semester goes, I still need to get on there and finish registering for fall, which is really not an easy thing, especially if you're not used to it or you haven't been showed how to do it. So that's a lot of stuff I gotta do. Let's see. I'm trying to see what I need to catch my YouTube people up on. So, since I'm about to go on summer, my hair keeps blowing in my face. I know y'all can't see it, but the ceiling fan is on, and all the little itty bitty hairs are blowing in my face, driving me nuts. So, I'm about to have summer break, but there's a lot of things that I need to do during the summer break. Registration's one of them. My car has needed to be dropped off at the dealership because it has one of those recall things. We've been trying to do that for about, I don't know, 6 months, maybe a year, There's a lot of things that need to be caught up on. And then May 20th, I have my ortho appointment for my back. So if y'all are new to me, I have this little disabled thing happening in my back with like my L1, L2, L3, L4, L5. They're all messed up. I got injured and I haven't worked since July of 2020. And I haven't been able to do anything. Not that I really can, but if I do try to do something, then I end up like getting hurt even worse. So I'm still recovering from not this past Saturday, but the Saturday before, when I just tried to do some like very simple cleaning of the house and, raked a couple things in the yard, and that was enough to hurt myself really bad for a couple of days, and then, have to scream when I either tried to stand up or tried to sit down. So it's to the point where, probably if I don't do anything to hurt myself for the next couple of days, I should be back to just being in my regular average pain as opposed to the extra heightened pain. It's the whole thing. So I'm excited that I get to finally go to my ortho appointment and find out if I can move. Like, because like at this point it's scary. You're like, well, if I do this exercise, will it like, make whatever good part of my spine like move over, or like, can I hurt myself? Like, I haven't been able to talk to an actual doctor. So when you go to community hospitals, you have to go through this entire process, like the emergency room, and they have to send you to doctors, and they have to send you to x-rays, and they have to send you to MRIs, and then eventually, if they see that you're still messed up, then you get your ortho appointment. And so finally I get it. So I'm excited because I want to get my back fixed so I can get back to life. But also, I'm coming up on like, so at school, I have like two more full semesters left and like one summer thing, and then I'll be ready to transfer to a university. And there's a lot of classes that I need to take that are, I need to be able to go in person. There's science classes that have labs, and then there's like social, because I'm going to get a social work degree. There's things that I need to do where I have to, show up on time to get hours in, for that particular, to get my degree. So I really need to get my back fixed because I've been doing all my school online, and it's also, very difficult online. It's basically teaching yourself. I mean, you can ask help and, ask questions, but for the most part, it's, figure it out by yourself. And it's tough when you haven't been in school for like, I don't know, 37 years or something like that. But I'm working it out. I'm working it out. So the plan is to finish my degree. And then by the time that I graduate, hopefully my social media will be where it's supposed to be. And both things will meet at the same time. And then I don't know where we'll go from there, but that's where I'm headed. But tonight, hopefully, okay, I didn't take up that much time. Tonight, before this video expires, I wanted to talk about the Judds. I'm sure y'all have heard about Naomi Judd. If you're younger, you may not know who the Judds are, or if you don't listen to country music, you may not know who the Judds are. I am not like a huge country music fan, but I mean, I'm aware of all the old school people, like everybody that sang country music when I was younger. And I have watched a lot of documentaries, and so I have seen a lot on the Judds. And I did not know, that I didn't see it on the news or anything, but when I was on my live, on my Facebook Live, um, one of my followers mentioned it, and it just like really blew me away. And because I have seen so much footage on them and stuff, I really like initially felt so bad for Winona. Not that I didn't think that that I didn't feel bad for Ashley, but I just really felt bad for Winona. Um, so when I went looking for information to find out like what happened, it brought me up back to a docuseries that I had watched, many years ago. And so I rewatched it last night and today. And wow, I have so much to say. We're probably going to have to do two parts on this one. So, where do I start? I feel like the relationship that's highlighted in the docuseries that is between Winona and Naomi. Naomi is the mom, Winona's her daughter, and Ashley Judd's her other daughter, the movie star. Um, the relationship that they had and the way that they worked on it is kind of the same way that you would work on another relationship, like a married couple relationship, um, friends relationship, sisters relationship. I mean, a relationship is a relationship, and when there's difficulty and when there's problems, I mean, it's all kind of the same thing, right? There's a problem, we need to fix it. And they spent the majority of their adult lives trying to fix the problems between between the mother and the daughter. And I always found that admirable. Excuse me. Um, I know that, Winona found it hard to get along with Naomi, and Naomi found it hard to get along with Winona, but they still. I'm gonna have hiccups now, really? That's okay. If I get hiccups, I can show y'all how to fix them on the live because I have actually found a solution over the years. I get hiccups a lot. I don't know why, but I do. And so I've actually found the solution to hiccups. So if these things keep up and keep messing with me, I'm going to show you how to fix them. So I, I don't know, I would say I study, right? I study people and I study the mind and how it works and what affects you in childhood and how that affects you later on in life. So I don't know. Was she 76? I'm not sure of Naomi's age when she died. When they did the docuseries, she was 65, so I'm thinking she was 76. But even, during the doc, let's just use that for example. When she was 65, she was still struggling so hard with these issues of childhood. And in my criminology classes, in my psychology classes, um, all the information that I'm finding, and we've talked about this before, just does not look really hopeful. And when I'm watching this Amber Johnny Depp trial, I'm also, seeing a lot of things and I'm studying, I'm listening, I'm learning. I'm always trying to learn and figure out like what goes on in here, um, so that I can analyze situations that are in front of me to try to determine whether or not something is, good or safe or wise or whatever it is. So I'm all off into all of that stuff. If there's anything that is even under the heading of documentary, I have probably seen it, whether it's, prisons, women, men, just all types of things. So I was really highly fascinated in their relationship in particular because I relate to Naomi and I also relate to Winona. And I actually saw Winona in concert. It was a really awesome experience. I think I told y'all about that on one of my YouTubes too. I was in Lake Tahoe and we took the gondola up like we were going to ski, right? All the way up to the top. And then at the top, she was doing the concert. And they just had lined some chairs up outside. And there was a stage. And it was very intimate because it was, kind of small compared to most concert venues. Um, I mean, you had the vast wilderness to where those chairs could have just kept on going out to the trees or whatever, but it didn't. It stayed a certain size and it felt very intimate, and it was a really good concert. It was a really neat way to get to a concert, a really neat way to go back. I mean, they even let you take your wine on the gondola, so it was all fancy and stuff. It's like the fanciest concert I've ever been to. Which if Winona heard that, she would probably think was hilarious. Um, you know, being that they're from Kentucky and so humble and everything. And I mean, I know they wore the little fancy costumes and all that stuff. But so if you don't know about the Judds, I could tell you so much. But I just want to do a little baseline in case anybody hasn't seen anything. They really struggled with their relationship and they really struggled with trying to fix it desperately over the years. And apparently they made a lot of progress. They really did. Um, it's a really different relationship, the relationship that they had on stage and then the relationship that they had off stage. And then there's also a different relationship, which is the one that is portrayed to the audience, or the image that the audience sees is still different than what's going on between them on stage and then what's going on between them off stage. It's really fascinating. You don't get to see this, much. And we've talked about this before. I don't have the greatest relationship with my mother, and Naomi also doesn't have the greatest relationship with her mother. And I feel like our mothers were similar in a lot of ways. And then because of the way that Naomi was raised, and because she really didn't know any better, she made a lot of mistakes when she was raising, Winona and Ashley. And each one of them had their own host of experiences that happen in their childhood that either the mom knew about or didn't know about, but they experienced very different, they had very different experiences or very different memories of their childhoods. And remember that, I think Winona started singing when she was 15, and, mom used to go with her. And so, right off the bat, Winona and mom were spending a lot of time together while Ashley was back at the house. And so, that's got to be a tricky situation all in itself when, there's one sister's gone with mom all the time and the other one isn't. That's got to be a hard deal. And then, Winona admitted to, you know, the way she described it was like poop rolls downhill. So if she had problems with her mom, then she would cause problems with Ashley because, she was the younger one. I think Winona's 4 years older than Ashley. Um, and her mom had been through so much when she was a child that by the time she had them, which she had Winona when she was 17, she she really had no bearings, right? She really had no compass, no way of navigating anything because of, like all of the disturbance going on. And I feel like they really undermine that in our society, and we really need to start. We need to start worrying more about mental health than we do. Stop worrying so much about financial and stop worrying so much about physical and all of this, and really deal more with the mental, because that's where it's all at. I mean, clearly you cannot see from looking at somebody what they've been through, what they're about, what they're like, what they've recovered from. You can't tell that from looks. And this is all, I mean, look at, she had to be one of the most gorgeous women on earth. I mean, even at 65, she looked like she was 30. It's just ridiculous to be that gorgeous. And then have a mental illness and not be here anymore, like, and that had also happened, to her grandfather, the same thing that happened to Naomi. I don't know the exact details, so I don't want to speak out of turn. I haven't heard specifically. I haven't read specifically. I heard specifically what happened, but I have not read that yet. So I want to find that before I talk about it. But I wish she was still here. But if you look at the mental health issues, like, they overrode anything. They overrode children. They overrode a marriage. They overrode animals and a farm and a great place to live. They overrode being a superstar and dressing in costumes and singing around the world. They overrode a talent, that's like, they overrode everything. And it's just like people are always like, well, they have money. I don't understand why they took their life. I don't understand, It's because it doesn't matter what you see on the outside. I wish we would really start talking some more about this. Oh, this is my time where I have to go. We're going to have to go to part 2. See you for part 2.